Well, you probably see them as you are driving around. I know we do. We're talking potholes.
Yes, today we're headed to Firestone downtown to find out exactly why you should be completely avoiding potholes when on the road. Take a look. Okay, I'm under a car with my friend Lee. And Lee, today we're talking about potholes.
That's correct.
I don't know anything about them except for when I'm driving, I avoid them.
That's a good.
Is that good?
That's very good. You want to try to avoid them at all costs.
All right, segment over. Just kidding. Okay, let's talk about why.
Potholes, believe it or not, can cause quite a bit of damage to vehicles. Yes, whatever you feel when you go over a pothole, imagine the car is absorbing most of that impact. So when it happens, you're only feeling what you feel on the steering wheel, but the car's feeling all of it. All right, so there are some things that do need to be checked if you hit any major potholes. And the way to tell if you hit a major pothole is if you're going down the road, you hit a pothole and the car suddenly jolts or jerks really hard. Typically that means that something has probably happened.
You knock something out of whack.
Yeah, that's correct. So you could misalign your steering, you could bend or break items.
Okay, let's talk about the specifics here. Obviously, we're under a car.
That's correct.
So let's talk about what potholes will affect.
Okay, as far as your suspension goes, you could in turn interrupt your suspension or misalign your suspension or prematurely wear your suspension via the impact that it takes. Now,
which is the suspension?
Here's what's going to absorb the majority of your suspension. This is your strut system. And that is essentially a large coil spring with a strut or shock style absorber inside. So when you hit the hole, the wheel will suck up some absorb some of the impact. And that will cause that to prematurely wear if it's a large pothole, or you hit the same one every morning if you're on your way home or on your way to work.
Yeah.
So that could happen as well. A lot of these items, such as your lower control arms here, they have just rubber bushings that have tried to absorb a lot of this impact. Believe it or not, driving down the road, you could probably see a car sometimes where the wheel's bouncing a lot.
Yeah.
The road is not really as flat as it looks. So these things are working overtime all the time. So the larger the impacts, the more potholes you hit, the more that those items are going to wear and the faster they're going to wear. So it is important to try to avoid potholes just for that simple fact.
Okay, and then it also affects your tires?
It does affect your tires. If you were to come over here and look at your tire, your sidewall is essentially the biggest impact zone between the road and your wheel, okay? So if in the event that you were to hit a pothole, you want to try to make sure your tire pressures are at the manufacturer's specifications. If it's too low, you could in turn crack a rim or bend a rim. If your tire pressure is too high, you can in turn blow a tire out. So the manufacturers have put a lot of time and effort into figuring out the exact amount of pressure that a car could withstand certain everyday driving. So you want to make sure that that is taken care of, that you set your tire pressures at manufacturer specifications.
Okay, so if you avoid potholes, you save money.
That's right.
And your car will thank you.